ఓకే, మనం ప్యారలల్ క్లాసెస్ డిస్కస్ చేసాం కదా. లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో ప్యారలల్ క్లాసెస్ డిస్కస్ చేసాము. ప్యారలల్ టెస్ట్ కూడా డిస్కస్ చేసాం కదా. ప్యారలల్ టెస్ట్ అయితే వీ హ్యావ్ టు గివ్ మల్టిపుల్ టెస్ట్ బ్లాక్ అండ్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ టెస్ట్ we have to give different name as test 1, test 2. Don't give the same name. That is the thumb rule. Okay, and suit level we have to write parallel is equal to test and thread count is equal to 2 or 3. Okay, so ఇప్పుడు మనం parallel methods చూద్దాం. Okay, so parallel classes ఇదే ప్యాకేజ్ నేను కాపీ చేస్తున్నాను. I'm copying the same package and SRC test javaకి వెళ్ళి paste అంటున్నాను. Parallel methods. Already exist. Parallel methods 1 అని పెడుతున్నాను. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ parallel methods 1 లో సో I'm deleting the testng.xml now. Okay, so how to generate parallel methods మనం చూద్దాం. So before that, let me create a testng class. Okay, so I'm going to create a testng class. Create testng class, all test cases. I'm creating a testng class name as all test cases. I'm clicking on finish. So this one is this method name I'm giving add skills. Okay, and let me write one more @test method, add jobs. Okay, so in this testng class, how many @test methods are there right now? 2. Okay, 2 methods are. So now let's go to add skills. Okay, base programs. Let's go to add skills, and I'm keeping all the set of driver commands. Control C and add skills. So my testng class contains either methods or anything. Okay, so all my set of driver commands related to here. And previously I'm declaring WebDriver object here, right? So now what I am doing is I am declaring WebDriver object inside the method. WebDriver. So let's import WebDriver. Okay, clear, right? So all the set of methods you have written and you are calling all the methods inside this. Okay, might be or you have written all set of driver commands in the same method. Okay, now I want to write set of driver commands related to add jobs. So let's copy all these methods, all these lines of code and keep it in add jobs. So in all test cases. Okay. So inside the inside the method, I am declaring WebDriver. So whenever there are multiple @test methods are there, okay, whenever you are writing, one second. What happened? Okay. Whenever you are okay, WebDriver driver. Huh? Okay, driver. WebDriver. Right. I have written multiple. So I have created WebDriver object every method specific. I have. So these lines are related to add jobs. These lines are related to add skills. But I have created WebDriver object separately for every method. So that is the main point you need to understand. Okay. Previously we are writing globally when there is only one @test. But when there are multiple @test method and each functionality, each Each one is this is one test case, this is another test case. Let us say. Okay. So in that case, you must have to create a WebDriver object separately. Okay. Now, so now I integrated all people's code into this TestNG class. So TC01 add jobs was developed by one person, add skills was developed by one person, and add jobs function. And I created a TestNG class, and I maintained all the method. I copied the code and I pasted inside this method. Now let me generate testng.xml for this one. Okay. So run testng, convert to testng. So parallel is equal to methods because my testng class contains multiple test methods. So now I want to execute multiple test methods in parallel. So I am selecting thread count is equal to, I can write 4. So if testng class contains 4, 4 will be executed at a time. If testng class contains 10 test methods, so in the first iteration, four methods will be executed. In the second iteration, remaining 4, and in the third iteration, remaining 2 will be executed like that. So let's click on browse this one. What is my folder? Selenium 44 folder. Parallel methods 1 under src test Java. Parallel methods 1. So in this one, I want to generate testng.xml. See, my testng.xml contains parallel is equal to methods got generated. So now remove the thread count at the test level and let me run my testng class file. So my test methods will be executed in parallel. Okay, if a testng class contains multiple test methods and you want to execute those methods in parallel, so you have to write parallel is equal to methods and thread count is equal to 4. So now let me run this one. Run as testng testng suite. See, two browsers got opened at a time. Okay. So because every test method WebDriver object got created separately. So that is one session and this is another session like that. What happened? Failures. 1 second. So go to test output folder. What is the issue? Emailable report. Because if errors, it will generate an emailable report. Unable to locate element selector. What is this? Name is equal to username. Why? In which test case it is got failed? Open wiki. Windows. In which line it is failed? Line number 26. Okay, line number 26. Add skills. Add skills. Okay. All test cases. Line number 26 got failed. So here it is failed. Why it is failed? Okay, let's run it again one more time. Implicit wait. I have to check it. Implicit wait. Oh, implicit wait issue. Okay, so whenever you are getting implicit wait issue, so it will fail. Okay, just make sure it will be executed. Minimum you can give 10 seconds, so that script will be executed perfectly. So two browsers was executing in parallel. I think it's executing in parallel. See, the two test cases got passed. Okay, so like that, parallel methods will be executed. So only thing is you have to create WebDriver object within the method. That is the main point. And all set of driver commands you can write it. So all these lines of code related, all these lines of code are all these methods, because lines of code we are segregating into methods, right? So you can call all the methods inside this method. Okay, so whenever you are executing, all at the rate test methods will be executed in parallel, because you mentioned parallel is equal to methods. And while generating your testng.xml, there is an option none. So see, when I am doing testng or convert to testng, so there is a parallel mode methods, classes or tests. We had seen method classes how to do. Tests also we had seen. Methods also we did. Suppose if you select none means what will happen is, so here parallel is equal to none will be populated. None will be populated. And thread count, whatever number you are giving, it will be populated. Parallel none means it will be executed one by one. Okay. So once one test method is completed, then only the next second iteration will be started for another test case. It will be sequential execution. Okay. So like, so in the interviews, people will ask, how do you achieve parallel testing in Selenium? People are asking. So what we have to tell, we can achieve parallel testing in three ways: by using parallel classes, parallel methods, and parallel test. Coming to parallel classes, okay, in the testng.xml at the suite level, we will write parallel is equal to classes and thread count is equal to 4. And in the classes section, we can specify package name dot class name. So like that, we can mention how many number of classes are required, so that whenever we will execute testng.xml, these many testng classes will be executed in parallel. Okay, so you have to explain all this process. And what is parallel test? So once after generating testng.xml, we can copy and paste it multiple test blocks, and for each test block we have to give separate name: test 1, test 2, test 3, like that. So and at a seat level we have to write parallel is equal to test and thread count is equal to 3 or 4, so that so that these test blocks will be executed in parallel. So like that we can able to achieve parallel testing. And parallel methods, coming to parallel methods, if a testng class contains multiple test methods, and if I want to execute those methods in parallel, at the testng.xml at the suite level, we will write parallel is equal to methods and thread count is equal to 3 or 4, so that those methods will be executed in parallel. So these are the three ways we can able to achieve parallel testing by using testng. Okay na? So మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా అడిగారు అనుకోండి, అందరు చెప్పే ఆన్సర్. We can do parallel testing, parallel classes, parallel methods, parallel tests. ఇప్పటికి మిగతాది ఎవరు చెప్పాలి. ఓకేనా? సో parallel methods అనగానే మీరు కాన్సెప్ట్ అంతా చెప్పాలి. testng class contains multiple test methods. Then I will write parallel is equal to methods and thread count is equal to 3 or 4. Thread count 1 ఇస్తే దాని parallel testing అనొచ్చా? No. At least 2 ఇస్తేనే దాని parallel అండి. ఓకేనా? And parallel classes ante we have to specify package name and class names in the testng.xml. Parallel tests ante we will copy the multiple test blocks, and each test name we will give different name, and we will write parallel is equal to test, thread count is equal. Okay na? So that's it on the parallel testing in testng. Okay, clear everyone? Okay guys, ఇప్పుడు batch1.xml So you can rename a testng.xml just by pressing function by pressing F2. By pressing an F2, you can rename it. So one testng.xml I had given as batch one. So in this batch one, I can specify how many packages and classes I can specify like this, correct? So package. So one testng.xml I can call it as a batch one. And another testng.xml I can call it as a batch two. So batch one, let's say assume batch one contains 10 testng class files and batch two contains another 10 testng class files. What is the point? So batch one testng.xml contains one, let us assume 100 test cases, 100 testng classes, and batch two contains another 100 test cases. And I had given an exercise to you. Okay, you have to complete all 200 test cases by end of today, by end of tomorrow morning, I said. But batch one testng.xml, the execution will be completed. So you prepared batch one.xml and you did run as testng suite. All the test cases are executing parallelly for every iteration. So to complete batch one, it's taking almost around midnight by 12 or 12:30 or 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. You are not sure when it will be completed. After completion of midnight at by 1 o'clock, you have to come to batch2.xml and you have to run as testng suite batch2. So that when you trigger the batch2 file by 2 p.m., by early morning 6 p.m., the execution will be completed. But you are not sure when batch one will be completed randomly. You cannot woke up in middle of the times. Okay. So might be it might complete 11 o'clock, might be it will be completed 12 o'clock, it might be completed at 3 o'clock. But the moment when batch one is completed, your job is immediately you have to execute batch2.xml. So here, how many suite files we are having? Batch1.xml, batch2.xml. So you no need to work up at midnight. Okay, so there is a suite.xml. Okay, let's go to the so this is the main file. Okay, suite.xml. So you can mention dot means current package location. Okay, so this is the dot slash jobs.xml. So all jobs.xml contains all add jobs, modify jobs, delete jobs, save jobs. So jobs.xml will be executed. Might be it will complete by 12 o'clock 1 hour. And after that, immediately, which batch file I want to execute? Skills.xml. So dot means current package folder. Slash, it contains skills.xml. See skills, add skills, modify skills, delete skills, save skills. So that by use, so multiple batch files, just you need to write suite file path is equal to dot slash that batch file.xml. Got the point, everyone? So how to integrate multiple batch files means this is the way we can do. Okay. So multiple batch files we can write like this. So you no need to wake up at midnight. So the moment when jobs.xml is completed, immediately skills.xml file execution will be started. So you no need to wake up throughout the night. So you can wake up by early morning. So this one will be completed and this one will be completed, and you can check the results in the testng emailable report. So that all the files will be executed in. Okay. So if you want in jobs.xml, you can write here parallel is equal to classes. Manually also you can write it. Parallel is equal to classes. So that these testng class files will be executed in parallel. So, but we have to write at the suite level. Don't write at test level. You can write it here. Okay. So like this. Got the point, everyone? So like this, we can execute multiple batch files as well in testng. So we have completed parallel testing. Okay. So now let me tell you what are the various annotation tags and TestNG framework. So for what are the annotation tags that we know? At the rate test, only at the rate test only we know, but we don't know what other annotation tags. Okay. So I'm creating a package name TestNG annotations. TestNG annotations. So I created a TestNG annotations package. In this one, I'm going to create a TestNG class file, create TestNG class. So here, what are the annotation tags means? See here, before suit, before test, before class, and before method. So now I am going to create an TestNG class with before test, after test, and I'm clicking on finish. So before test and at the rate after test annotation tags I have selected, and I'm clicking on finish. See, at the rate test by default it's got created, and at the rate before test also it's created because we have selected annotation tag before test, and at the rate after test this is the annotation tag also we have selected. Got it? So generally in before test, okay, I'm declaring my web driver. I'm declaring my web driver. I'm declaring my web driver and import this web driver. Okay, I'm saving. So here before test, right? So generally in before test, what lines of code we will write means launching of Chrome browser. Okay, let's go to basic programs lines. One second. I think I want to create this package in Selenium 44. So I'm coming back to the add skills, or not this one. Okay. So this is the annotation tag, right? Before test, at the right test, after test. So now in before test, generally what we will write, launching of Chrome browser section we will write. Okay. Now let me go to my basic programs program, add jobs. So all these lines, launching of application URL up to here, I'm taking copy and I'm pasting into at the rate before test. Generally people will write in the at the rate before test, launching of browser, launching of application URL. So implicit wait up to these lines of code people will keep in the at the rate before test section. In the at the rate after section, people will write driver.close or driver.quit. Close means it closes the current window once after test is complete. Okay. So generally in before test we will write. So first before test section method will be executed, and after that at the rate test. So this is main test. Main test methods, main test lines of code will be executed. So if you come to main test, what are the lines? So these all are related to main test. So let's do. So all the main lines. So the main test will be executed, and after that browser will be closed. So let's run this program and we will see. Okay. So this is the testng class file. So first before test will be executed. So before test will be executed. After that at the rate test will be executed. And at the rate test will be finally after at the rate after test will be executed. See, browser got closed. Okay, got the point. So the execution will be happened like that. So now we understood what is the purpose of before test means. Before test means prior to at the rate test, before test section will be executed. Okay, after at the rate test, after at the rate test, at the rate after test will be executed. What the point? Right. So that's it on the test engine annotations. Okay, now let me tell you few more annotation tags as well. Okay. Other annotation tags I will tell you in tomorrow's class. So we have completed in parallel testing and we have completed what are the annotation tags for today. Okay. So test ng we can go slowly only. I don't want to make it hurry. Okay. Because testing each and every feature in the interviews people will ask. Okay. Just do your practice slowly. Okay. Because we don't have any framework or project related. We will go small, slowly. Okay. So that's it.